Good morning. As Father John said, my name is Asher Tillman, and fair warning, I was raised charismatic Pentecostal, so maybe clutch onto your pews in case I get the urge to start a revival up in here. I've been on staff with St. Andrew's for just over a year now, and in many ways this church has been an unexpected blessing for me in that short time, and I am excited to be able to share some of that with you here today. I moved up here to Kansas City in the fall of 2020 during the part of the pandemic where things were perhaps at their most uncertain. Around that time, many folks were eager, desperate even, for a return to normalcy, while the same number of others held fast to separation and protection, unsure of when things would take yet another turn for the worse, what with each new strain that carried with it another dizzying spin of the merry-go-round, it seemed. The tone at the time was quite muddled and tense, and that certainly describes the way that the pandemic had left me feeling then as well. To spare time, I won't go into things, but know that the sudden stopping of life the pandemic delivered did not treat me as kindly as it seemed to some others, and I had much to reckon and deal with at that time. And while ultimately I don't recommend making such a large move at such a time like I did, the door of St. Andrew's was shown and opened to me at a pretty quizzical time, I would say. My first Sunday on staff here was Independence Day of last year, and I've often been reminded of that tidbit as I've continued to navigate the settling into of my new life up here. Though I aim not to share much of these times with those around me, the choir here has still been privy to some of the messier moments of my life, and their response to witnessing them has been humbling, soothing, and altogether encouraging. First, they came to my rescue when I totaled my car on the highway at the very beginning of this year. Though I'd been on staff then for only 6 months, they surprised me at an evening rehearsal soon after with a collection of money to refund the funds that I had spent on Uber rides to work and other obligations here and there, and let me tell you, that ain't cheap. So don't go wrecking your car anytime soon. And thereafter, I'd received several rides from other members of the choir, namely Kent Mon. I can thank you very much for that, for helping me get back on my feet, or wheels, I should say. They've often been giving of their time and interests, staying late after rehearsals to hold long conversations, brimming with advice and relation, randomly inviting me to lunch or loaning out books that I've still yet to read, Ashley Benez. And admittedly, at the times when my struggle to screw my head on straight after my move here has gotten in the way of remembering rehearsals and other obligations, they've only freely doled out their patience, mercy, and understanding, albeit, I'm sure, through gritted teeth. Now, when you're offered the chance to recount these things, especially in a church setting and with such limited time as I have, they can easily seem like such a given. Like, of course we should do these things, give our money, our time, our second, third, and fourth chances. We've heard these things all the time growing up in the church, coming to service throughout the year, and it's just what good people do, right? But even in other times when giving these more obvious general things hasn't been quite necessary, the choir here has shown me time and time again that if nothing else, they can still give a rip. When it's all boiled down, they just simply care. No questions asked, no prerequisites. I am here, and for that alone, I matter. And when you actually get to live within that for longer than just a quick speech here, let me tell you, it's huge, and personally has helped me focus myself more towards the ministries here at St. Andrew's. And really, that's all the simple challenge I have for you today. You may not have the money to give a collection for someone in need, and you may not even have the time in your day's busy schedule to stop and lend an ear to someone seeking advice. But no matter what you may lack in any given moment, you can still give a rip. You can take the back seat and give the driver a pat on the shoulder, both of you knowing that when you have the chance, you'll take over at the wheel to allow them a quick nap. And oftentimes, that can be all the gas they need to make it through to that next stretch. Thank you.